Yo, what is going on, everybody? This is RBT and welcome to my first rebuild of Madden 18. Today, we are going to be rebuilding the San Francisco 49ers, who I believe have overtaken the Cleveland Browns as the worst team in the NFL. Not trying to trigger any 49ers fans, but just in my opinion, this team is pretty awful. This is going to take a complete overhaul to try and make this team as good as possible, and hopefully in this rebuild just get them to the playoffs. I would consider that a success, because if you just look at this team, there is not much talent anywhere. There's a little bit more talent on the defensive side of things and the offensive side of things, but regardless, this is going to take an absolute miracle. So hopefully you guys do enjoy the San Francisco 49er rebuild, and if you do, make sure to drop a like. If we can smash 2,000 likes on this video, I will do another team rebuild sometime later this week. And let me know what team you do want to see me rebuild in the comment section below. Now, with that said, we are going to be using every resource possible to make this team good in 1 year. So this is just going to be a 1-year rebuild, so we're going to be trying to make as many trades as possible. But at this point in Madden 18 and in Connected Franchise in Week 1, we have to try and sign some of the free agents out there, because if we didn't, we'd be stupid. So why not just go ahead and sign the best free agent out there who's, I don't understand. This dude, pre-existing injuries are always off, but he for somehow just eludes that and still has a fractured hip. So we are going to sign him and trade him away, but that kind of sucks. So abort mission. We are going to sign, though, Ladarius Green to be our starting tight end, because we don't have to trade away anybody to get a starting tight end now. We just get one out of free agency, and we have a ton of cap space to play with. And with that said, we will go ahead and sign a fullback in Michael Burton, because like I said, we can sign all these free agents, probably still not do too well, because this team's bad. This team is extremely bad. So we do need a complete overhaul on the offensive line, and we definitely need a center. We'll go ahead and take Jeremiah Zuttah. He's an 84 overall. Why not? Now let's look at the other offensive line position, Austin Patzel. He's 26 years old, 81 overall. Go ahead and sign him up as well. How about the guard positions? We have Garrett Reynolds, 81 overall. There you go. We have ourselves an offensive lineman. Now looking at the defensive side of things, Quentin Coples could be potentially nice. He's only 27 years old, 80 overall. Go ahead and sign him too. We're getting some good players for pretty much nothing. Our linebackers really don't need that much help. Our linebackers is probably the strength of the team, but there's an 83 overall available. Why not sign him as well? And there is a couple good corners as well on the market. You got Darrell Revis and Tremaine Brock, which kind of sucks because they're worth a ton of money. Cost $6 million. But if worse comes to worse, we can just trade him away. And just like that, dude, I know we just abused free agency, but like I said, it's going to take abusing every possible thing in this game to make this team good in year number 1. And with that said, I didn't even look at left guards. Let me see if there's a left guard available that could be half decent, because if that's the case, we could go ahead and get our starting left guard and maybe not even have to upgrade offensive or any more offensive line positions the rest of the rebuild. At left guard, there is a 79 Mackenzie Bernabeu, who we will go ahead and sign up. We still have 20 million left, a ton of players to trade away, a ton of cap space to kill, and let's see what type of trades we can manage to bring together in this 49ers rebuild. I genuinely think this is about to go through. Tremaine Brock, Harry Riley, and Quentin Coples, 3 free agents that we just signed for Aaron Rodgers, and it's in the green. So how about, what else do they need? A defensive tackle. How about Earl Mitchell? They're not interested in Earl, but we sent Earl anyway. We are really about to get Aaron Rodgers. Aaron freaking Rodgers. So they're not interested in him either. So how about we just throw in a draft pick? No, they need a left guard. We have a left guard we can trade away. I know that. Zane Beatles. Not interested in Zane. How about the free agent that we signed, Bernabeu? Not interested in him either. We'll throw that in. It's in the yellow. So they don't really like Bernabeu. But, we're about to get Aaron. We're about to get freaking Aaron. How about a 3rd round draft pick added into this deal? And we just got Aaron freaking Rodgers, where he probably, San Francisco 49ers fans probably wish he would have got, well, they do obviously wish he would have got drafted there instead of Alex Smith. So I never in a million years expected this to be a thing, but we just got Aaron Rodgers. So what a way to start off this rebuild. So I know these two players are a little bit older, but we're trying to win year number 1. So Dennis Pitta, our 3rd string right tackle for Marshall Yanda, and Eric Weddle. We're going to throw this into the universe, and it's pretty close. So what else do they need? They need a left guard. That I'm sure we have a left guard that we can trade away. Brandon Fusco. How about him? And it's getting closer. So maybe we throw in Zane. We're going to throw in Zane, see if this is accepted, and it's not. So we'll go ahead. How about Mackenzie Bernabeu? Not interested in him either, and it's kind of close still. So I guess, do we have a right end? How about Eric Armstead instead of Gary? Will this be accepted? And it was. So for Dennis Pitta, in our second and third string right end, we get a beast 96 overall Marshall Yanda and a 94 overall Eric Weddle, who is just, that's two 90 plus overall players for just crap. For a bunch of crap. Boys, if this goes through, I don't know what to say. Fullback and right guard that we signed out of free agency, and Malcolm Smith for Julio Jones. And it's not that close. But what if we threw in like a first round draft pick? I'll be willing to do that for Julio Jones because it's goddamn Julio Jones. And it is, oh my God. Are you actually kidding me? I wouldn't mind trading away Vance McDonald instead, and they're not interested in him. But how about Ladarius Green? How about him? I would go sign Gary instead of Ladarius if this could go through. And it was accepted, boys. A first-round draft pick, Malcolm Smith, and Ladarius Green for Julio Jones. We've added both Julio Jones and Aaron Rodgers to this team. How incredible is that? For pretty much freaking nothing, honestly. So we just got Lane Johnson for a 71 overall middle linebacker and like our 5th string cornerback. Lane Johnson's one of the biggest go-to players in Connected Franchise because he's always so easy to get. We already had 2 right tackles that we could probably start. But, I mean, why not just get a 91 overall to bolster our lineup? So the only team extremely interested in Brian Hoyer is the Jets. So we'll just try to get the Jets' best player, which is Leonard Williams. And let's see how close this is to going through. And it's not that close. But we do have right tackle Austin Patzor, which we could add to this deal. And it's in the yellow now. So we need one more position of need. And we have, do we have a wide receiver they'd be interested in? How about Aldrick Robinson? They kind of are. And it's in the green, but how about Jeremy Curley? Is that going to be in the green? And it is. Will this go through? And it is extremely freaking close. So how about like a second round draft pick? I'll be willing to trade away a second round draft pick, get one off the board, and get ourselves a very good left end. So let's see if this will go through for Leonard Williams, and it was accepted. So Brian Hoyer, our backup right tackle, and a second round draft pick for one of the best defensive ends, I would say, in the league. So that's a good trade. I did not expect this trade to go through, but it just did. So we traded Quentin Coples, Jimmy Ward, who we no longer needed because we have Eric Weddle, and our second string defensive tackle Quentin Dial for a starting right outside linebacker, which we did need, we still had Reuben Foster, but I mean, an 86 is an upgrade, and David Emerson, who we definitely need some cornerback, so an 83 will definitely help. So for a better right end, Ray Armstrong and Tank Carradine for Cameron Jordan. I mean, he's a 93 overall. He's still like 27, 28 years old, so he's not too old. We can put him right at the right end position, then trade on Elvis Dumerville because he is getting super old, like 33, 34. So let's see if this goes through, and it is in the yellow. So we can potentially make this go through with like a 4th round draft pick, or maybe a 5th. So a 5th as well in this deal, and it was not accepted. But if we go with like a next year's 3rd, see if that will be accepted, and it was. So Tank Carradine, Ray Armstrong, and next year's 3rd for a star defensive end. So how about this? Ahmad Brooks, Elvis Dumerville, Eli Harold for Geno Atkins, and a pretty good wide receiver in Brandon LaFell who will just help our depth, which we definitely. So how about this trade? Ahmad Brooks, Elvis Dumerville, and Eli Harold for Geno Atkins and Brandon LaFell, who will help out our wide receiver depth. Geno Atkins, a star defensive tackle, and the trade was not accepted. So how about just this straight up for Geno Atkins, and oh my God. So that's that might go through, and we'll save like probably $6 million. But who's somebody we could just throw in there? Let's find a crappy player like Pita Timopaniu. Will that make this deal go through? And it doesn't. So let's just go ahead and throw in like a bullcrap draft pick, or maybe what do they need? Do they need a right end? How about not Aaron Lynch? A left tackle. You need a left tackle. How about a right tackle? You need a right tackle. John Theus. How about him? Will this go through? And just throw in a 7th round draft pick, because Geno Atkins will definitely 100% help this team. 7th round draft pick to make this deal go through. Jesus Christ, making my life so much more difficult. So the 6 should be enough to make this deal go through. And finally, Geno Atkins is now a San Francisco 49er. Whoa! Whoa! Interesting. We just traded our backup quarterback, Bethard, to the Packers for Randall Cobb. Okay, Madden. Okay. So we definitely need a left outside linebacker. We have that fullback we can trade away. Let's see how close this is for Nigel Bradham, and it's in the yellow. So maybe a 2nd round draft pick will be enough to make this deal go through, which would be pretty sick because he's a really good left outside linebacker. We have one more left. Will this go through? And it was accepted. Genuinely didn't really think that. I'm falling back in my chair. Didn't think that would go through. But we get ourselves a beast left outside linebacker for a backup right tackle, a backup fullback, and a 2nd round draft pick. Guys, I really think we're about to get ourselves Greg Olsen, a 99 overall tight end, for Jeremy Curley and a 5th round draft pick. And it wasn't accepted, actually, so never mind. Maybe a 3rd round draft pick? Nah. How about a 2nd round draft pick for next year? I'll take that. 2nd round draft pick for next year. Jeremy Curley for Greg Olsen, and it was accepted. Wow. We get our 3rd 99 overall player of this rebuild. So we do need a strong safety, and we very well might just get Maurice Alexander. Now, what else do we have we can trade away? Joshua Garnett, they're not interested in, and that doesn't bump it up. We'll actually save like $6 million on this deal. It is probably going to take a draft pick, because I don't think we have anybody at the positions of need, aside from DeForest Buckner, but I don't want to trade him away when we don't necessarily have to. So how about, do we have any defensive tackles? How about Earl Mitchell? They are interested in Earl Mitchell, and I think this will actually go through for Maurice Alexander, and it was accepted. So a 3rd string defensive tackle, Garrett Reynolds, and Matt Barkley for a starting strong safety who's pretty freaking sick. How about this deal? DeForest Buckner, our 3rd string defensive tackle for Aqib Talib, and it's in the yellow. I think they are interested in Aaron Lynch, so we'll throw him in. Let's see about this, and it's still in the yellow, so maybe we can just throw in a draft pick. We throw in a freaking draft pick. How about a 5th? Will this be enough to bring in Aqib Talib? And it's in the green. So how about, what do we have for next year? We have a 4th from next year. I don't know about that. We might have to, it's still in the green, might have to trade our 3rd, I believe, from this year. But I think that would be worth it for Aqib Talib, and the trade was accepted. Wow. Our biggest position of need, which was cornerback, we just got one of the best ones in the game. I'm done. I'm actually done. I'm done. I'm actually done. Our 3rd string center and our backup strong safety now, because we just got Maurice Alexander for LaShawn McCoy. Guys, this is about to happen. Carlos Hyde, Pierre Garçon, Jaquiski Tart for Luke Kuechly, and it's close. I have a 1st round draft pick for next year that I could use. So do I use it here? It's Luke Kuechly. And it, oh man, that hurts so bad. What right tackle do we have? Lane Johnson. Oh man, how about tight end? Don't we have Vance McDonald as our backup? Please tell me they're interested in Vance. Please be interested in Vance. Please. They are. Oh my god. What about corner? Don't we have a decent corner we could trade away? He's $4 million. He's worth $4 million. How about Rashard Robinson? They're not interested in him. David Emerson. We could get another corner, and that would free up a lot of cap space for that to be the case. That kind of wasn't meant to be a pun, but it was. Submit this trade offer. It was accepted, boys. Carlos Hyde, Pierre Garçon, and David Emerson for Luke Kuechly. Dude, this team is stupid good. I think we're about to also get Alex Mack, a 93 overall center, which gives us very little cap room, but we still have a center we could trade away regardless. And it was accepted. I was just trying to find a team interested in these 2 wide receivers to free up some cap space, and I was like, gosh dang, give me a 93 overall center. So the last position of need on offensive line is left guard, so if we can get Richie Incognito and actually save money with this deal, that would be nice. That was easy. I did not expect that whatsoever. Just trying to get a decent cornerback, and we trade Eli Harold to the Buccaneers for Vernon Hargraves. Like, usually he's hard to get, but apparently not in this game. So we need another cornerback for depth. They are one of the few teams that are interested in this third string right outside linebacker. I would definitely be willing to trade him away for Jason McCourty, and I have a feeling it's going to be easy. And it looks like it's going to be pretty freaking easy. So let's also throw in like a 7th round draft pick. Will this be enough to bring in Jason? And it's not. So how about like a 4th from next year? Will this be enough to bring in Jason? And it is so close, dude. So let's throw in like a nipple to make this deal go through. How about Victor? Is Victor enough to make this deal go through? Victor's not. Victor's not enough. But how about Aaron? How about freaking Aaron? Is this enough? And it was accepted. We get ourselves a veteran, but a cornerback to put as like our 2nd or 3rd best cornerback, which really does help us for depth. So this might seem like a crappy deal, but I have a good reason for it. Bernadeu and next year's 1st round draft pick for Derek Johnson is going to free up some cap space, and that means we can also trade away Navarro Bowman, who is our current backup middle linebacker, and he's too good. Oh God, are you kidding me? Are you actually kidding me? How about you need a corner? How about one of these guys? How about Keith? Is Keith good enough? And Keith is good enough. So we get Derek Johnson. Now we can ship on Navarro Bowman for a position of need, which is probably going to be either cornerback or wide receiver. Boys, I have a feeling this is going to go through. Navarro Bowman and DeForest Buckner for Josh Norman. And it's so close. So what else do they need? They need a left guard. Do they have a left guard? Zane Beatles they'd be interested in? No, please. God, how about Brandon Fusco? Are you interested in him? They are. And it was accepted, boys. So Navarro Bowman and DeForest Buckner and Brandon Fusco go for Josh Norman. So I believe our last bit of business is just to find I think we just need one more wide receiver, and we should be golden. So we actually just traded away a couple crappy players and a 7th round draft pick for an 81 overall Captain Merlin, who will give us better depth at cornerback. I can't believe that was just accepted. We traded like our 3rd string left outside linebacker, like our 5th string free safety, and like our 4th string running back for Jordan Matthews. That's a good trade. I'm done. We just got 87 John Brown. I'm actually done. For Vernon Hargraves and Witherspoon, and Vernon Hargraves with our 6th corner. So that's why I didn't mind trading him away. Did not expect that to go through. I would have gone for Larry Fitz, but we didn't have enough cap space. We actually gained like $1 million or $2 million in cap space here. And we get a young, pretty good wide receiver in John Brown. So we are done with the trades, and now we need a couple backup positions out of free agency. I don't have that much in cap room, so we're going to get a pretty crappy backup quarterback just to have one. We'll just go with 8. Why is the lowest overall more expensive than these guys? So that's interesting. But we'll go with an 800K player, and we'll just go with a younger guy, the youngest one available, and that's going to be Joe Licata from Buffalo. So he signed as our backup quarterback. We also need a 3rd middle linebacker. We don't have much to spend, like $3 million left, like I said, but we'll get somebody's worth about maybe $1 million, or we'll go with 1.3 mil Nico Johnson, a former Alabama player too. So we'll just get him for depth, and I think we can sign one more player. I think we also need a backup defensive tackle, and we should be golden after this, but they're kind of expensive. We have currently about $2 million to spend, so we'll get a $1.7 million youngster in Wade Kippy from Oregon. So with that said, I think we just made an absolute super team. Now, if we do not win the Super Bowl, I will be so freaking disappointed, because this team is absolutely insane. It took me about, let's see, officially an hour and 15 minutes to make all these trades go through. I spend more time on these rebuilds than probably any other videos, but look at this team, dude. The whole entire offensive line is completely stacked, and now that I think about it, I probably could have traded for a better left tackle and save some money. And every time I do this, I'm kind of like a perfectionist when it comes to these rebuilds, so I want my teams to be as good as possible. And now that I think about it, we might, like I said, could trade away. How much is Joe Staley worth? $4.19 million. So I might actually go for a better left tackle if we can get. You know what? No. I'm gonna chill. Joe Staley, we don't have many team players that were originally on the 49ers left, so we'll just chill for a second. But this team's good. We have like 399 overall players on offense, and Aaron Rodgers, Julio Jones, and Greg Olsen. LaShawn McCoy is a high 90 overall player, not to mention Randall Cobb's a pretty good number 2 receiver, and John Brown's a pretty good number 3 receiver, and Jordan Matthews is a pretty good number 4 receiver. We almost have A+ at, well, I guess technically at wide receiver we have A+. We have A at almost every single position. Aaron Rodgers should lead us to the playoffs easily. And defensively, this team's pretty sick as well. We have Luke Kuechly, who's basically a 99 overall. We have Aqib Talib, who's sick. Eric Weddle, who's sick. But Maurice Alexander is our worst player on defense, which just tells you a lot. He's young and he's an 85, so probably will progress. And it's not necessarily filled with that many old players. Normally in rebuilds, you get like older players because they're really easy to get. But I mean, aside from on defense, I mean, maybe Aqib Talib and Eric Weddle, like, everybody's pretty young, or at least in their prime on defense. And on offense, I mean, a couple of the offensive linemen are a little bit older. Probably the middle of the offensive line who we traded for, I mean, they're easy to get, so why not, not spend way too much trading away for offensive linemen. Greg Olsen's a little bit up there, but aside from that, it's a pretty much young offense as well. So this team is mixed with veterans and youth. So with that said, boys, I think I'm about to go ahead and sim to mid-season. If we have more than 2 losses at mid-season, I'm going to be disappointed. So at week number 9, we are 7-1, kind of like I expected. And injuries are on, so I got to keep that into consideration. But apparently we still are doing pretty freaking well. Now, I want to see who we lost to, because we should be beating teams pretty comfortably with this team that we have assembled. So it looks like we lost to the Redskins of all teams, and we're beating the Eagles 41-7. The Colts gave us a tough game, but the rest of the games we won pretty handily. So if we end the season with a record worse than 14-2, I'll be very, very surprised. So let's go ahead and sim to the playoffs. And if we don't have a first round bye, I'm gonna be mad. I'm gonna be irate. So of course we made the playoffs and apparently got a first round bye. Now let's see if anybody's actually injured for the playoffs. And it said Alex Mack is available to return, but hopefully nobody else is too injured. Did we lose a game the rest of the year? And we did actually. Went 13-3, so kind of disappointed there, but it's still a very good season from what the 49ers are expecting to do in real life. Now, first of all, I don't know why I didn't turn injuries off. I usually do for these videos, so hopefully nobody of too much importance got injured. And we have oh God. So, LaShawn McCoy's out. Greg Olsen's out, but he should be coming back. Aldon Smith is out for 4 weeks, and Vance McDonald's out for a week. So that actually really does hurt us. I wonder how long he's been out for, but we still have a good enough team, I believe, to win the Super Bowl. Our running back is Tim Jennings, but he's still an 82. He is older, or Tim Hightower, I apologize. But this team's still pretty freaking good. So with that said, I do want to see if anybody on our team won the MVP. We had the 9th best offense in the NFL, and we had the best defense in the NFL. So our defense, even though it didn't have as many 99 overall players, was better than our offense. So did anybody win the MVP? Tom Brady did. Russell Wilson came in 2nd. Dak came in 3rd. Aaron Rodgers came in 5th. Blake Bortles, I don't know why Blake Bortles is always in the top 10 for the MVP race, but he came in 7th. Marshawn Lynch in his return came in 9th. So let's see if we had a defensive player of the year. No, we didn't. Anybody come in the top 10? Luke Kuechly did. He came in 5th, and Cameron Jordan came in 8th. Do we have any rookies play? I can't even remember if we had any. C.J. Beathard, who we traded to the Packers, won the Rookie of the Year with the Packers, who went 4-12, so not a great year for them. Mitch Trubisky came in 2nd, and we did have Joe Williams. Not sure what position he even plays. He came in 5th, and nobody else there. On defense, we had nobody come in the top 10. So with that said, boys, it is time to advance deeper into the playoffs and see if we can actually win this Super Bowl in this rebuild. Yes, we had a great regular season, but it's going to be all for naught if we do not win the Super Bowl. So it is time to advance to the conference championship game. If we do not beat the 9-7 Lions, I'm going to be irate. And boys, we lost. Are you actually kidding me? Are you actually kidding me? How did we lose with this team? I'm out. I'm actually out. No. We should not be losing with this team. 14.